Hi everyone, today we're going to take a look at the new Insta360 AcePro 2 Ultimate Videography Bundle. And full disclosure, they did send this bundle out to me for review, but I haven't been paid or sponsored, and as always, I'll give you my honest and fair opinion. So let's take a quick look at the camera itself, the Insta360 AcePro 2. Now I've already done a full review on this camera, so I'm just going to kind of go over the highlights here. But suffice to say, this is a top tier action cam. I mean, we have best-in-class hardware with a 1/1.3-inch 8K sensor for 8K video, 4K 120 slow motion. We have active real-time HDR with pure video. We also have 50 megapixel images. We have a Leica lens, but not only a Leica lens for really sharp images, but also Leica color profiles have been included. The image stabilization, they call it the flow state image stabilization, is amazing. It's just like being on a gimbal. I mean, it's just unbelievable how good the image stabilization is in this camera. You know, the flip screen here comes all the way around so you can do your vlogging or selfies, but I also like it that you can just kind of go about halfway here and use it as a photography or just like a real camera. All I can say is that I've been using Insta360 products for years now, and I've always been very, very happy. I mean, they continue to innovate, not only in the hardware, but also in the accessories and how they expand on what you can do with their products. And that's what we're going to look at today is a new bundle called the Ultimate Videography Bundle. So let's get started. So this is everything included in the Ultimate Videography Bundle. We have, of course, the camera, the AcePro 2. We have the new Xplorer Grip. We have 3 interchangeable lenses. We have a magnetic mount here. And we also have a magnetic screen hood here. Now the bundle also includes this new Xplorer Grip Pro, which I really like because it greatly enhances the ergonomics of using the AcePro 2 out in the field, whether you're a videographer or photographer. So we have a much nicer grip here. It's rubberized, nice little finger indent here. They've moved the shutter button forward and it's just clickable right here. And we also have a zoom lever here to zoom in and out. And then here we have a programmable rear dial. Over here we have a 3.5 millimeter jack, so if you like to use your own boom mic or wireless microphone system, you can plug it in right here and mount it into the cold shoe. And what you don't see is this actually has its own built-in battery, so it effectively doubles the battery life of using the AcePro 2 out in the field. Now to mount the AcePro 2 into the grip is very straightforward. We just take it and we slide it in, and then we plug in the USB-C port here, and then just snap it closed. Now another nice thing about the grip is we can also power the camera on and off using just the shutter button, so it makes this much easier for one-handed operation. We still have access to the power button here, but if I want to turn it on in a one-handed way, I can just push and hold the shutter button, and in about 3 or 4 seconds, the camera just powers on. And then if I want to power it off, I can just push and hold the shutter button again, and then it powers off in about 3 seconds. Now on the side here, we have a USB-C port for charging, so we can just plug in any PD compatible power source, plug it into the grip. But what's nice is not only does it charge the battery in the grip, it also charges the battery in AcePro 2 at the same time. So you only have to plug in here to charge both batteries. Now there's a few compromises when using the grip, and I don't think it'll affect that many people, but I just kind of wanted to make you aware of them. One is that the grip is not waterproof, so you're not going to take this underwater scuba diving or snorkeling, things like that. However, it is weather resistant, so light rain, maybe a few splashes, you should be okay. Just be very conscious that there's a 3.5 millimeter hole here on the top. 2 is that I wasn't able to download the photos and video off the camera directly through the USB-C port on the grip itself. I had to do it directly, like I always did before, through the USB-C port on the camera. And not a big deal, but because most people, they usually work with the videos and photos on their app in their phone or their tablet. But I like to download the images, and work with the raw files as a photographer and use my editing software on my laptop. Now another thing is that this shutter button is replaceable. So if you want to put like a little smiley face or company logo shutter button, you can do that. But what I found is out in the field, the original one kind of worked itself loose, and I lost it. I don't know where it is. Fortunately, I have a few spares laying around, and I was able to just replace it with one of the ones I had. But that said, even when the shutter button falls out, I was still able to start and stop the video and take pictures. But it's a lot easier when you have the shutter button attached. So just be aware of that. It can work itself loose, but you can also replace it with whatever you want. Now let's look at the other things that came in the bundle. We have a magnetic adapter here that clips not only into the AcePro 2 directly, but also into the Xplorer Pro grip here, just like so, very straightforward. And then we have a screen hood here. And this was actually really well thought out. I was a little worried at first, but there's a little magnetic strip here that you tape onto the back here, and then the hood just magnetically attaches, and then you can, you know, get a little extra shade protection. And even though the screen here is very bright and easy to see even in bright daylight, this helps tremendously for seeing the display in very, very bright sunny days, like when you're out on the beach and stuff, and it closes. And you may, and this is where I was kind of concerned, is that when you flip the hood up, you know, it kind of blocks or goes into the grip here. So you can turn this around like this because it is magnetic upside down. And then, not quite, but almost vertical. You can still see the screen when it's flipped up just this far at this angle. It's not ideal, but it's doable. But when we're mounted to the AcePro 2 directly, without the grip, you know, you can use the hood either way, either on the front like this, facing forward, or in the back like this. And magnets are fairly strong. It's not going to come off. As you can see, I can hold this with the hood itself, and then it folds down very nice and flat, and also works as a nice little screen protector for your display. All right, now the bundle includes 3 interchangeable lenses. The first one here is a super wide angle lens, and this really expands the field of view that the AcePro 2 has. Natively, the AcePro 2 has a 157-degree field of view, or roughly a 12mm equivalent on a full-frame camera, which is very wide. However, this actually takes you out to a 189-degree field of view, where it actually can see a little bit behind the camera. This is the cinema lens. So this lens you use in the 2.35 aspect ratio that is built into the camera. So it doesn't really give you any wider field of view than you already get with the AcePro 2. Just ever so slightly. It's not worth mentioning, but what it does do is it adds sort of these bluish lens flares and glow to your speculars to give you that cinematic look. And it also activates the cinema color profiles that are available in the camera. And then finally, we have the close-up lens here. And normally, you know, natively, the AcePro 2 has about a 1.5 foot minimum focusing distance. So it didn't really allow you to get very close to your subjects for either photography or filming, but also for vlogging, you know, you would have to hold the AcePro 2 all the way out at arm's length, and that can be a little uncomfortable and weird looking sometimes. Whereas with this, you can just kind of hold the camera at a more normal sort of distance and still get your face in focus. So this is really, really useful for both photography and for vlogging. And then one last thing included in the bundle is a spare battery. So you actually get 2 batteries with the bundle. You get the spare, and I have one in the camera. And don't forget, you also have a battery in the grip itself. So you have a very compact, lightweight setup here that you can practically go all day long and do photography and video. All right, I just want to show you very quickly how you change lenses on the AcePro 2, and it's pretty straightforward. Basically, I have the lens protection cover on here now. I can just turn and twist this off, comes right off like so. And then I take the new lens and I just put it in there at an angle, then twist it and put it on. Now there's no electrical contacts between the lens and the camera, so you have to go into the menu and tell the camera which lens you just attach, but that'll give you access to some additional or special features that this lens is capable of. Now the lenses come in their own rubberized cases so that you can, you know, easily pack these and take these with you in the field. But also when you have the lens attached, you can use one side of the rubberized cover sort of like as a lens cap, so you can put this into your bag and it'll protect the front element. Now the next thing you need to do is actually go into the camera. So let's go ahead and power it up. And then go into the menu and scroll over here and click on this icon here. And then we want to select the lens that I just attached. So for example, this is the ultra wide angle lens. So I'm going to scroll over here and select the ultra wide angle lens. And what that's going to do is change or add some options to the main menus that you have in the camera. On the close-up or ultra-wide angle lens, I noticed that the change here is that I now only have mega and ultra available to me. I no longer have, say, the linear option, which makes sense because this is virtually a fisheye lens and there's not going to be a linear profile available. However, let's change lenses, and a lot of times it's easier to change the lenses when you still have the lens cap attached. We'll just do that, and we'll put on the close-up lens, like so. Now let's go into the menu and change this to the close-up lens. And you need to pay attention because you can scroll up and it'll give you some description here of what the close-up lens is for. But also down here, there's an additional option for focus peaking. And I can turn this on or off by touching on it, like so. So let's go ahead and turn this on and click the check mark button. And you're probably not going to be able to see this in the video, but this did help me close focus on objects because this has a manual focus ring on it when I was out in the field by using the focus peaking. Now I'm going to be making a follow-up video showing you how I use the different lenses in my photography and for photographer enthusiasts, as well as for vlogging, because some of you might be considering this camera as an alternative to using your regular camera for vlogging, because this entire setup is smaller, lighter, and costs less than a lot of the ultra-wide angle lenses you might buy if you wanted to do vlogging on your regular cameras. So stay tuned and subscribe for that. And if you're watching this video close to its publishing time here in March of 2026, right now Insta360 is running a spring sale for some significant discounts. So check the links below and see what the deals are there. But I hope you enjoyed this review. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.